Hey YouTube, Petey Twofinger here with Storytime. You Hurt Paw Paw. This is a story that I witnessed going years back. I was at it's like a huge strip mall in our area that has a Walmart. And then on the other side, there's a place called Home Depot. Now, Home Depot, if you're not familiar with it, it's a chain store. It's a huge hardware store that has everything for remodeling. They have a paint department. They have a lumber department. It's massive. And when Home Depot came into town, gee, I kind of look uncomfortable, don't I? When Home Depot, excuse me, when Home Depot came, what time is it? It's like 20 to 6 in the morning. When Home Depot came to town, they lowered the prices on everything a little bit. But they also lowered the wages. They took over for all the mom and pop hardware stores, went out of business because they couldn't compete. So Home Depot is not good. Anyway, this happened in, I want to say, like Y2K. This happened. So I go to the parking lot of Home Depot. I pull in and park in the Volvo. And it's summertime. Get out of the car. I've got my family with me. My wife. My older daughter is probably like 6. And then the baby. Let's say she's 2. We get out of the car, I get out first, and I look towards the store, and I see there's a minivan, a dark green, like a Dodge Caravan, and it's got the sliding door all the way back, and there's a guy, a skinny, tall gentleman, older guy, Grandpa, PawPaw, and then his wife is standing there by the front door, by the mirror, in front of the mirror, and he's got 5 or 6 sheets of drywall, huge sheets of drywall. That's like wall material. It's basically like plaster that's encased in some paper, and it's building material. So he's got these, I want to say, they're like 8-10 feet by 4 feet, like huge pieces, and he's got like 6 of them, 6 or 8 of them, and they're on top of the minivan. Okay, so I'm trying to think how this happened. He's in the back of the minivan. The door is open, and he's leaning. He's up there. They have twine. There's a huge spool of thick twine, or like yarn, like rope. It's like yarn, but it's more coarse. It's made out like a very thin rope. And that's out there at Home Depot. If you need to tie some stuff down that you bought, they provide that for you. It's free. So he is tying down these half a dozen sheets, huge sheets of drywall on top of the minivan. And this is one of those minivans that's got 2 doors on it. Both of the doors are open, I think. And they're like running the twine through, and he's finishing that process up. He's tying off the twine. Now, there was a little boy, I think, like 3 years old, and the grandma is standing there holding the little boy's hand. Then there was a girl who was maybe 4, and she had her leg was, because the van door was open, she was sitting in one of the back bench seats. She had her leg out, and she was rocking her leg, like this motion. And what she did, she bumped the door with her leg, and it pushed it back a little bit. When that guy was up doing the twine, trying to tie it, get it tight, he's up there, it's hot out, he's trying to tie off the twine, and he's pissed, and his little granddaughter moved the door about an inch, maybe a centimeter, bumped the door, and he goes, "Oh!" like, "Ow!" like, "Ooh!" And the grandma looks at the dude, and he's like, "Urgh!" And the little girl is like, and here comes the grandma, and she goes, "You hurt Paw Paw," and picks the little girl up while she's saying this, "You hurt Paw Paw," and power slams the little girl down. Bam, slams her down into the seat, because they had a car seat. So she picks this little girl up. "You hurt Paw Paw." Bam, and does this wrestler move, slams the little girl down. Now, this woman was like a Godzilla. She was, she was hefty, She wasn't tall, she was stout. "You hurt Paw Paw." And then the little girl, she's screaming, and the dad's out there tying. So I had sunglasses on, I got my keys, and I'm just like I can't believe what I just saw. So I'm like, "Come on, go in." And I'm like, "Yeah, she just moved her leg a little bit and barely bumped the door." And this guy's like, "Oh!" Like, obviously he was overwhelmed by, he probably didn't want to have to do this remodeling. He had to go spend, it was like a lot of money for all the drywall, and then he had this crappy twine, and on top of it's like kind of like the van is like round and this is flat, and it wasn't really good. Like, he should have had a van. He should have had a van and had it in, like, you have another guy come with you, and you put down a moving blanket, and you do it nice, and tie it down in the van so it doesn't flop around. I mean, it's fragile stuff, right? So, anyway, we go in to the Home Depot, and the way that my wife and I, even with our kids, we were never the type who were like, "Well, we have kids, so we can't do anything." Our kids became part of us. We taught them in, like, the good things that you do, that you teach your children, and we hustle. When we go to the store, we don't lollygag. We're making time. More relaxed people of color, would see us and be like, "Damn, where's the fire?" Because a lot of people, they take their time and they'll span the entire aisle with their family, large people. We're really overweight, and there's 4 of us, and we're gonna line up. And we're going to, boom, here we come, up in here we come, going as slow as they can, and then here we come, and we're like, like with the arms going, and like trying to get in there and get the masking tape and the flat black and the primer that we get at Walmart. Like, that's like the only stuff we buy at Walmart is masking tape, rattle can primer, and rattle can flat black. That's the only time you'll see me at Walmart. Maybe I get rubbing alcohol, and then if I'm in there, I don't know, I might stop over and get some like the 2-pound bag of shoestring French fries for $1.79. You'll see me getting that, but I'm not in Walmart like, what do they got over there? Let's go, get 4 cases of Faygo and a 16 stack of frozen Tombstone pizzas, like I see these people, spending $400. And so when we come, we're coming, and we're on a mission. So whatever we were getting at Home Depot that day, we knew where it was. We went in, we got right to the self-pay thing, used our credit card, and we got out. And we're driving home. We pull out. It's like everything's going smooth. We got what we needed. I told them the whole story about PawPaw, and I was still like, my smile was just fading from that. And we're pulling out. There's one stretch that's like, it's not even a quarter mile, and then there's the light. You always get that light, and it's real long, and you got to make a left. So we're coming down, and it's all brake lights. And I get over to the left lane, and I come pulling up, and here he is, PawPaw. He didn't tie it down good, and the wind got underneath it and grabbed that shit, and it all flew off of the car, and it all end over end and ripped up all of the, like, they were all oval. They weren't square anymore because they flew out and then they landed, and so everyone was locked up, and there was just sheets of drywall and chunks of drywall everywhere with the oval sections laying there. And he had his door open and he was getting out, and so he pulled up right when he was getting out of the car. I pulled up right next to him, and I rubbernecked my head way out, and I went, PawPaw! As loud as I could, and then I burst out laughing at him and laughed at him, and he jumped, and he was just like he couldn't believe it, because he was in a fit of rage. He was so mad, and I called him his name. I called him PawPaw, and I saw his wife. She went like like she couldn't believe it. Like I was an angel that like was behind them and like put the hoot nanny on their drywall and made it come off, like untied the knot with my spell or something. I had nothing to do with it. I saw what she did, where she power slammed that little girl, and I told my family the whole story of HURT Paw Paw. And I was just like, what a horrible woman. Like, you know, and I get the guy was pissed. It's probably something I would do too. Like, ow! A 6-year-old girl, she bumped the door and it touched you. Like, it didn't, ow! Like, it didn't hurt you, you know? But he was, so, in that moment, like, all of that happened, and, like, my wife, like, ribbed me and, like, got all mad at me, and, like, I was laughing so hard, I was laughing so hysterically, like I thought I was going to pass out. I thought I was going to crash the car. It was the funniest thing. It was so unbelievably funny. Okay, HURT Paw Paw. When I did that, PawPaw! Laughed at him. And like his wife, like, and he was like he like totally freaked out, and then he went walking back to, you know, they had to clean up all the drywall. They had to get it out of there. So, like I said, I could not stop laughing. And then I thought about that, and I kind of keep that story with me to not be like that. If it's something where you're frustrated and there's a minor inconvenience and you get bumped, don't overreact. Because in life, we all face that type of stuff. That's what you're up against. And are you gonna, ow, and trigger the beast? The grape ape, the gorilla monkey woman, the HURT Paw Paw, bam, to power slam the little girl? Or are you gonna take it in stride and go, oh, take her easy, or, you know, what, like, zip it, you got bumped, so what? You know what? Rather than HURT Paw Paw and ow, I'm gonna fucking like tie that shit down really good, and then I'm gonna drive with one hand, and I'm gonna hold my arm up and pull down on we're gonna have gloves, and you know, gorilla, grape ape, grandma, Beastimus, or whatever the horrible Godzilla grandma was, you know, you put your hairy ass arm up there and pull down on that shit too. You know, because that's all they would have needed to do. And then when the shit started flopping around, pull over. So that it did cost him. And like I said, that's one of those things I carry with me where as you get older, I mean, hopefully you're going to learn from life stinks. When you get bumped, when you get injured, when something bad happens to you, and you can think it through and like learn from it. Like, this stuff's going to happen. Okay? It's going to happen. In my life, I could go on and on and on and play the victim with the stuff that I've endured, okay? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and all of that stuff's a blessing. Am I bitter about my life? Well, there's certain parts about it, yeah, I would change if I could go back. Certain things that I don't have control of, certain things that I endured because of my family. But a lot of that helped mold me into the man that I am. And I'm not a braggart, I'm not a proud person, I'm the other way around, you know, and I guess I needed that. If that's what it took for me to not be a pompous, proud son of a bitch like some people I know, then I'm glad that I had to suffer. And so bring it on. Bring it on. You heard Paw Paw. You know, go ahead and give me your best shot. I'm going to die anyway. You know, I'm going to suffer. I'm going to die. I know that's part of the deal. So when we're alive, we got to try to make sense of it, make the best of it, and love through that. We don't want to be that great big beastimous woman, the grandma, the horrible grandma, that poor little girl. That sucked. Seeing her power slam that little girl. Like, where's the mom? And like the mom, like lets the kids go with this horrible beastimous grandma with PawPaw to Home Depot when they're tying shit to the roof? No. So, I mean, I don't know the story. Maybe the mom wasn't even around. Maybe the mom had like real serious issues. But in my mind, yeah, the mom was out doing whatever she was doing. Her new boyfriend or whatever, you know, divorced the husband or whatever horrible kind of PawPaw relationship thing, messed up deal. So, you know, it's not that I'm better because I'm still with my wife. It's that I was honest. I didn't cheat on her. So that's something that I'm proud of myself for, because it's tough being in a relationship. You know, we all put up with it. If you're in a relationship, you know what I mean. But I wouldn't trade a minute of it. You know. And I have so much love and respect for my wife. That's kind of what keeps me going, is having that relationship. So I'm really lucky to have a good woman that stands by me and that helps me, and that understands me to some extent. But man, PawPaw, you hurt PawPaw. Anyway, that's my story. There'll be more Storytime videos. I got a lot of them. I hope you enjoyed this one. Check out Storytime The Tower. That's a series of videos that I got. And if you haven't watched The Secret yet, that's on Vimeo. It's long, so you need to pencil in at least an hour for that. Put your thinking cap on and watch that one. That's the video that I'm the most proud of in my life. It's called The Secret. That's on Vimeo, Petey Twofinger channel. So you guys, don't hurt PawPaw. PawPaw! Take her easy.